Hello, my name is Schuler Schanberger, and today I'm going to be talking about artificial intelligence. So first off, what is artificial intelligence? According to the class textbook, artificial intelligence, or AI for short, is defined as the branch of computer science that is devoted to the creation of computer systems that simulate human reasoning and sensation. Now, I think for many of us, when we hear the words artificial intelligence, we tend to picture killer robots that maybe seemed promising at first but got worse and worse over time. Or perhaps it's not a robot at all, but maybe a computer system, for example, that tries to take over the world, or it tries to take control of something it's not supposed to, just because it believes it knows better than we humans do. These types of scenarios can be found in tons of Hollywood movies and science fiction stories, and they almost always rely on artificial intelligence developing some sort of Frankenstein complex. It raises the question of whether the things we create will ever become truly autonomous from us, and whether synthetic brains can ever equate to human ones, at least on an emotional scale. But that's a whole other can of worms that I won't be getting into in this video. Instead, what I want to focus on are two examples of advanced artificial intelligence that exist right now in the real world. One is a robot, and the other is a personalized assistant that can communicate through a house-wide network. So to start off, I want to take a look at something called Jarvis. Jarvis is a name, but also an acronym, JARVIS, and it stands for just a rather very intelligent system. Now, this Jarvis is actually from a comic book. It's an artificial intelligence system present in Marvel Comics, and it's also mentioned a lot in the Iron Man movies that star Robert Downey Jr. This Jarvis system is so advanced that it can create interactive holograms and understand sarcasm perfectly. But what's interesting here is that in 2016, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook actually made his own version of Jarvis based on the comic book version. His Jarvis system has facial recognition software in order to recognize any visitors he gets, so he can let them into his house remotely. Jarvis can also turn the lights on and off or dim them. It can operate the TV and the surround sound system. It can even turn on the toaster to make breakfast on command, and it can operate a t-shirt cannon that Zuckerberg made specifically for it. It also has two primary ways of communication. Zuckerberg and his wife can talk directly to Jarvis from any room in the house, or they can communicate through texting on their phones. Zuckerberg mentions in an interview that he mostly prefers to text his AI because the vocal recognition can be a little glitchy. Sometimes it takes 2 or even 3 tries to get Jarvis to listen to him. There is also the issue of what he calls linguistic nuance, where Jarvis might mistake two similarly worded phrases, such as the song Someone Like You by Adele for a genre that's something like Adele. But Zuckerberg also stated that he enjoys being able to say good night from his bed and have Jarvis automatically turn off all the lights in the house. I imagine that's really nice because you don't have to worry about bumping into furniture in the dark. Now, the second example of artificial intelligence that I want to talk about is a robot named Sophia. She was made a citizen of Saudi Arabia in October of 2017, which makes her the first robot in the world to achieve citizenship. She was made by a company called Hanson Robotics, and she looks extremely realistic, except for the fact that she doesn't have any hair. She just has a metal cap in the back of her head. And her face is actually said to be modeled after Audrey Hepburn's. One of the guys who worked on her, his name is David Hanson. He actually used to work for Disney as a Disney Imagineer. And he stated that robots need to be adept at socialization to avoid creeping people out. That's how he tries to avoid the uncanny valley phenomenon when he programs Sophia. Her AI allows her to hold eye contact, recognize faces, and understand human speech. It's actually an open source AI released by Hanson Robotics, so you could theoretically make your own Sophia, or something similar to her if you wanted to, at home. Sophia herself has expressed a desire to live and work with humans, and she understands the need to build trust. She also has dreams of marriage and naming a baby daughter after herself. Her citizenship in Saudi Arabia actually sparked some controversy because many people accused her of having more rights than the women living there. A lot of people pointed to the fact that Sophia doesn't have to wear any coverings when she's in public. So Jarvis and Sophia are two examples of how far artificial intelligence has come so far. They both have tremendous potential for impacting the workforce as well as life at home. Human-like robots such as Sophia could serve as receptionists, accountants, and in some cases even instructors, whereas the technology that is based off of Jarvis can be used to unify the many different smart devices people have in their homes. Certain machines could be operated remotely, such as doing the dishes while you're at work, or opening the door to let your dog outside while you're gone. Of course, with this comes the risk of being hacked or having a system malfunction. But I personally don't think these things are ever going to go away, now that technology is becoming so prevalent in our daily lives. I think that people will prefer the trend towards simplification, which AI like Jarvis can offer since it can control numerous devices at once. And robots like Sophia can make our lives more efficient as well by reducing human error or performing tasks for longer than a human could. These kinds of things will enable us to make even more technological advancements and probably more human-like AI as well. It's clear that progress is going to be made, even if we're not quite sure what the end goal is. Of course, there's always the issue of when do they become sentient, when do they become conscious, and this can of course lead to questions of ethics. It can lead to legal issues in cases of human and robot conflict, or if artificial intelligence is responsible for, say, someone's injuries or even their demise. There's lots of things that will need to be addressed in the future, and I think it's very interesting just seeing how far we've gotten and how far we still need to go. Where do we draw the line between what humans can do and what robots can do? And for now, it is definitely a question of the future, but I think it is fast approaching us. And so topics like these really interest me, and hopefully they interest you too. So that was my video for GIT 345 about artificial intelligence featuring Jarvis and Sophia the robot. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.